CSP firewall was pretty much disabled as well. So on CSP, the main thing that was enabled was a resource restriction on the credit card file and threat injection and buffer overflow prevention based on our new policy that we just came out with, and a kill process detection policy. On SEP, in the very beginning, we didn't have IPS enabled, so we didn't enable IPS until kind of later into the game because I kind of wanted to see what kind of network attacks were being thrown at it. And quite frankly, I didn't really see that many attacks that SEP IPS was blocking. There was only out of the whole night maybe 5 or 6 attacks that I really saw.
Even later, like
Even later. I mean, even later.
So what was doing the throttling? So you know we noticed
So-
that we
So,
kept
yeah,
this-
that was
hard to keep up.
That was the SEP, right? And it, basically, if it saw an attack,
Mhm.
we, what was it, 60 seconds?
60 seconds, we block your
Just block-
IP for 60 seconds.
Yeah, so,
The idea was just to slow you down, but
Right,
not
that's-
prevent you from getting
Yeah,
in,
yeah, yeah.
right? Otherwise, it could have blocked you for, 8
So,
hours.
by the way,
sure.
default 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We decided not to do that to you guys, so.
yeah, so towards the end, we lowered the security in one box by basically lowering the throttle down to hardly anything
Yeah.
to basically give you, and then that box I did start seeing a
Was that
pickup.
4?
That was stop for.
Yeah, so then I started seeing a pickup.
So what you did is you just stopped the throttling, but CSP.
We didn't stop it, we lowered it from 60 seconds to 20 seconds, so that it came, your IP was
That's why
able
we
to
were
break it.
our scans were complete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the
Did anybody
problem
get
is,
console access?
but here's the problem. Somebody kept on doing port scans. And
In
so,
that-
Probably half the
That's-
room.
yeah,
Yeah,
and so,
somebody.
right.
I don't know to do anything else, Click.
Well, so the problem was is that if you notice right here,
You're on a different box.
port, oh, sorry.
Yeah, you gotta look backwards while you mouse.
Yeah.
It was port scan followed by active response. So what was happening was
that's
as soon as SEP saw port scan,
To block you for
it blocked you.
60 seconds.
But the thing is that when the blocks were occurring, it was because people kept on doing port scans versus that somebody was actually trying to exploit.
So I got a question across the different boxes as far as what you lowered towards the end, because we kind of stuck to the sheet on our table as far as we only went after 2 and 3.
Yeah.
We never targeted 4 or 6. So the only thing you did towards the end here is lower the timeouts?
Yes.
You didn't
lower-
actually
lower-
turn off any, you didn't open up any, because we weren't able to get a null session established to 2. But we were able to get, no, I never got one to 2. I was
I
able to
got
get one to 4 as soon as I knew I could
I
target
saw that.
4.
Yeah, and towards the end,
But I
I was.
couldn't, what was the difference between 4 and 2 that I couldn't
There's-
establish 1 to 2?
There's
There
was,
were no differences.
there's no difference.
I'm thinking
curious
20
why.
more
The
minutes. It
idea
would have
being,
been.
we tried to randomize it, right, to do
Yeah.
kind of a cheap form of load balancing, because we didn't wanna have just one.
Oh,
box
yeah,
of
but
all of them.
everybody, I agree. I'm
But
just
we
trying to
were
figure
really
out why,
surprised, not only-
because
not
I
only-
wasn't doing any scans, I should have been active, and I just was going straight for a null session without doing a previous scan. I just figured,
What are you
okay, well,
doing?
but like I said, I could
Oh,
hit
we
it,
were-
I hit it on 4, but couldn't hit it on 2.
Yeah, no, I
didn't
saw,
get it when
I
it
saw a lot of FTP anonymous logins.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Yeah.
I mean,
That's
so
about
that
all
was
we could see was
happening.
open and available.
So that was
Yeah.
happening across the board on all.
Well, so what we were trying to do is we were trying to pull
The
the
user
group-
list so we could get some
the
targets,
group
yeah.
flag, and the way we were trying that was we established a null session when then we're trying to do MBT.
To start pulling that data.
Ton of that.
pulling that.
Yeah,
And what he's saying is, we tried that
All,
long ago.
yeah, all night.
Yeah,
too.
for on
We were
2,
doing
it
it.
could.
So I got a question for you guys. Did anybody figure out who the local administrator account name was on the Windows box?
And like I said, now that we had a null session, I was starting to
We
pull
were
up the
starting
tools
to-
to do it.
Yeah,
So,
it's,
We had one.
So,
4 would have been.
so if you want, now that it's over, we'll log in as a local admin
Sure.
on 2, 4, or 6.
was there any user traffic on 2, 4, 6? No.
Other than like null sessions and
Yeah.
FTP and
But you weren't simulating it.
IIS with
No.
a Metasploit exploit, nothing local user base that we were seeing.
Yeah, but I was really surprised, because
Remember the password now?
I conducted a very similar exercise at Black Hat this year.
Mhm.
And we also did one recently internal at Symantec. And so,
CD,
Sorry.
oh, go ahead.
just go to the root first.
So was anybody running like Metasploit, or was anybody run, so you were like just going in and running like a full library of Metasploit attacks against the box and stuff like that?
You guys see this, right?
It's when I did it.
Right, that was the target of what you guys are going after for $5,000. He's logged in as local administrator right now on the box, which
Does that do anything?
wasn't named administrator, by the way.
Okay, so that's the local administrator.
Can you drag that,
Jack Nicholson.
can you drag that window down to the bottom of your screen?
I'll try.
That's pretty talented, Brady.
Is that better? Okay, so you guys see the file? Right?
The file's not encrypted, it's just literally what it looks like, an XLS file.
DNS.
So I'm admin on the box.
Right, so,
Access to the-
right, so CSP using a resource restriction, if you know anything about, if you don't know anything about CSP runs as a kernel level driver, basically intercepting all system level calls to anything, any resources on the system. A resource is considered a file, a directory, registry key, or a network connection.
So what happens if you like pulled down Ollie debugger and paused Symantec and you ran that command again?
So the driver will not unload.
Yeah,
There's no instructions written into the driver for it to unload. You have to reboot. Even if you can get it some way somehow to uninstantiate the driver on next reboot, you've got to get it to reboot.
yeah, I mean, we did a recent test by a third-party vendor that, I mean, they did everything from remove registry keys to try to stop the service, to try to do everything possible to bring down
So
CSP.
let's talk about specifically the administrator name. What was the path of figuring that out? I mean, was there even a path?
Just by enumerating the SIDs and seeing that this is .500, and the named administrator account was just a regular user
And
account.
how would I enumerate this? I mean, so there wasn't that capability.
Well,
I mean, I know what you're
There's
saying,
the
I
IS6
understand what you're saying.
right. And that's
I mean, I
why we
just
left
wonder, was there even
it
any
unpatched, so
path
there were exploits in, right? But so once we put CSP on and turn on prevention, those exploits, become kind of wrapped in bubble wrap at that point. They're not going to actually,
And then you've got SEP on there as well. It's also protecting the web and looking at IPS and malware. You have layers of protection. That's what it's all about.